The GT500 has such a breadth of capabilities that it's hard to compare it to one specific class. On the bonkers-horsepower muscle car front, there's the Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye. It has 797 horsepower and superior comfort, but it comes at the expense of precise and sporty handling. You could also consider the Camaro ZL1. It's super fun to drive, but its output of 650 horsepower will never win on barroom bragging rights. Then there are more upscale picks such as the BMW M4 and the Chevrolet Corvette. So what should you get? Read our expert rating of the GT500 to help you decide. What's it like to live with? Believe it or not, Edmonds purchased a 2020 Ford Shelby GT500 to test out for a year and get the full ownership experience. Check out the link for in-depth coverage from our editors on topics ranging from performance to practicality to scheduled, and unscheduled, maintenance. Our verdict: it seems like just yesterday that we extolled the virtues of the Shelby GT350, calling it the best and most compelling Mustang ever built. But now there's the GT500 and it outperforms its little brother in every measurable metric. The big brother Shelby combines unbelievable straight-line performance with impressive handling, all while managing to be fairly comfortable and as practical as any other Mustang. How does the Shelby GT500 drive? Monstrous. That's the easiest way to sum up the capabilities of the GT500. Straight-line performance is nothing short of shocking. Our test car ripped from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds and through the quarter mile in only 11.3 seconds at a staggering 130.7 miles per hour. Braking from 60 miles per hour was also impressive with a recorded distance of only 98 feet. That's close to some supercars. Handling numbers were also highly impressive and the Shelby pulled 1.17 grams on our skid pad. Again, near the performance of some supercars. The somewhat numb steering earns a minor demerit, as does the Shelby's overly wide turning circle. You can expect to make plenty of three-point turns in this car. But the smoothness and quickness of the 7-speed dual-clutch automatic deserve special mention. The transmission is adaptive and responsive to the driver's input, making stop-and-go traffic or hot lapping a total breeze. How comfortable is the Shelby GT500? The GT500 is impressively comfortable considering how capable it is. Other than the considerable levels of road and exhaust noise, and they're really not out of step for this class of car, there's little to complain about. You can adjust the Trick Magnaride suspension to allow for a relatively comfortable ride on the highway or switch to the Sport or Track setting for more enthusiastic driving. The GT500's climate control system is also a strong point. It provides good temperature regulation and has plenty of vents with excellent adjustability. Some larger drivers might dislike the aggressive bolstering on the optional Recaro seats, but they do an excellent job of holding you in during quick driving. How's the interior? The GT500's interior is fairly standard Mustang stuff. While that means it's instantly recognizable to most modern Ford owners, it also means the GT500 has the same strengths and weaknesses as any other Mustang. Buttons abound, especially on the steering wheel, and it's all too easy to press the wrong one. Getting into the driver's seat, unless you're exceptionally tall, will probably mean having to squeeze between the bottom of the steering wheel and the thick thigh bolsters on the seat, assuming you have chosen the optional Recaro seats. Rear seats may or may not exist, the carbon fiber track pack removes the seats. In either case, the space is as cramped as in a typical Mustang. How's the tech? It's with some surprise that Ford has been so stingy with seemingly basic technology in the GT500. Navigation and a decent audio system are bundled in the optional technology package. You'll need that package to get driver aids such as blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. A free lap timer and G-meter don't come close to making up for that. Thankfully, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are standard and function very well, even allowing you to keep smartphone navigation up while listening to terrestrial or satellite radio. The GT500's performance driver aids, though well sorted, don't hold a candle to what's available in the Camaro ZL1. How's the storage? The Shelby GT500 maintains all the usability of a standard Mustang, making it an actual candidate to be a 760 horsepower daily driver. Though the trunk opening is less than ideal, it makes the most of its capacity to hold golf bags or suitcases with ease. The optional carbon fiber track pack is both good and bad for cargo capacity. It eliminates the rear seats and the ability to fold them to carry longer objects, but you get a second trunk of sorts with the space they used to occupy. Interior storage space is also identical to a standard Mustang's. You'll find enough room for sunglasses, a phone and drinks, and everything stays secure during spirited driving. How economical is the Shelby GT500? It's highly unlikely most owners of the GT500 will keep a close eye on their fuel bills, but they should brace for the extra expense this 760 horsepower Mustang will bring. The EPA rates the GT500 at 14 mpg combined, 12 city 18 highway. In our time with the GT500, we managed to match the EPA's estimate and achieved 15.1 mpg on our 115-mile evaluation route. But we also had numerous tanks in the single digits. Of course, cars of this type rarely get stellar fuel economy, but the GT500 trails everything else in the class. Is the Shelby GT500 a good value? The price tag can easily be left out of casual conversation because it's so easy to geek out over the GT500's capability. But with our test cars' tested price of just over $94,000, the value of all that performance suddenly comes into question. Sure, you can build out a BMW M4 to a similar price, but if outright performance is your game, the Camaro ZL1 LE is more than $20,000 less expensive, as is a well-equipped C8 Corvette. Even Ford aficionados might balk at the fairly standard Mustang interior and the lack of standard navigation, blind spot monitoring, or a decent audio system. But performance like this can blind potential buyers to any minor faults. Just make sure you get a gas card with some rewards points. Which Shelby GT500 does Edmunds recommend? There's only trim level and only a handful of option packages for the Shelby GT500. We'd get ours in white and hold the racing stripes, but we're not picky. To that, we would add the handling package for the added alignment adjustability and the technology package for the navigation, blind spot monitoring, and upgraded audio system. The carbon fiber track pack is appealing, but we suggest saving your money for the countless sets of new tires you'll eventually have to buy. Ford Shelby GT500 models. The 2021 Ford Shelby GT500 is an ultra-high-performance variant of the standard Ford Mustang. Under the hood is a 5.2-liter supercharged V8, 760 horsepower, 625 pound-feet, that is connected to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission driving the rear wheels. Only one trim level is available, and optional extras are limited to a few packages and several standalone options. Standard feature highlights include